I really don't know how this population number works. This is the autosave telling me it's 381. This is the latest one, was 348. Originally I thought these were being calculated even for the dead nuggets. So if that was the case, then that number would only go up and not go down. I know for sure I don't have 348 nuggets because the counter on the top right says I don't have 348 nuggets. Unless the counter is wrong, which I doubt it is. So something about that nugget population on the loading screen needs to be fixed. Other than that, yesterday I tried and figured out the end game of this, and I guess for now it's the end game because there's going to be more patches since it's still in the alpha stage. But I tried and really work out how to pretty much maximize my nuggets, increase the population, and build additional buildings. I've achieved building additional buildings, and I found some interesting facts which I'll share with you guys pretty soon. On the flip side, I couldn't figure out a way to increase population. It just kind of lingers around 200. I did get up to around like 250, 260, but then within a matter of a couple of minutes, that population dramatically decreased to 200. So here I am, 203, and then 8 babies. I don't know if it's a limitation of the development itself, or if it's a challenge that I'm supposed to somehow figure out. But either way, let me just kind of explain to you the buildings that I was able to build. Here is the gas mine, which will obviously produce gas, which will send it to the glass factory. Glassworks will turn gas into glass, as the name states. And then a chemical factory will produce chemicals, which I'm not sure what it's used for, because as of this moment there aren't any uses for it. Maybe for upgrading. Nope, that's just cement. Okay. And then down here I have the cement factory, which I think you guys already saw in my previous episode. And then I have the rehabilitation center. This was up here, but a tornado swept through here and then demolished everything, so I had to rebuild it. And the other interesting thing that I found, which I mentioned in the beginning, is irons. I may be mistaken, but I was really keeping my eye on it, and it seems like irons are only transferred by engineers, which is a reason why a lot of the buildings, if you were to try and build it towards the end game, the irons are pretty much what continues to hold them back. Another thing that I found out was, because those irons aren't being completed, if you were to, let's say, put this building down, you will have all these nuggets who aren't really doing anything. So for example, during winter, the fishermen aren't doing anything. So they will walk all the way here and try and build something, but they can't because the iron's not completed and the ground isn't fully, whatchamacallit, I guess, flattened out or taken care of. Like for example, trees and stuff that needs to be taken care of before the building foundation is set. So you'll have all these nuggets, like tens of nuggets, that come and try and build something, which they can, and they just kind of go back. So that's another kind of waste of time, I guess, waste of energy. I wish they would just bring the irons and then even clear the area out with trees and stuff, but I guess that's kind of programmed in to be the responsibility of the laborers. Other than that, I know in the last episode I said don't use Town Hall because this is buggy. That's not the case. I think it's just the overall game itself that causes population to stop and not the Town Hall. So there's that. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it. As far as the game goes, I mean, it's fantastic the amount of work that the developers have put into and the progress they've made. I know it may be it may seem a little bit slower compared to other games, but I think you should understand that there's a lot of complexity involved in all these nuggets kind of moving on their own and making their own decisions here and there, especially when it comes to housing and also the efficiency of building and producing and things like that. So the developers have done a great job. As I mentioned, this is one of the games that I really have high hopes for, and I hope they continue to develop it. And I kind of see the direction that they're going. I think they're trying to finish kind of this maybe this area. So this is what I'm thinking. They produce these this, I don't know, research tree. They produce it and then they go back and begin implementing things that are here and here, and then they just kind of move forward. So I feel like this is their little project tree. Their project progress, I guess. I don't know what the correct term is. So I think that's where it's at. So these buildings really don't have much use at the current moment. So that's why I just kind of built it and then turned it off. Same thing with school. They don't really have much effect on the gameplay at the current moment. So I disabled everything for the purpose of my nuggets properly being assigned to food and water, especially farm, since I have a lot of food shortage right now. So maybe food is another thing that they may need to work on balancing out compared to the nuggets, because I'm definitely short on food. And as my population continues to increase, which in the future I'm sure it will, I don't have enough nuggets to build additional farms. So either these farms will need to require a lot less nuggets, or for the same amount of nuggets it needs to produce a lot more food as we continue to upgrade the farm. Maybe automation, machine, something in that line. As far as the wind turbines, kind of funny. This side of the world and the other side of the world tends to turn together, not separate. Because I'm sure wind on this side will be different from the wind on the other side. And the fact that these trees are shaking means there's wind coming, which is another reason why these guys continue to turn towards the wind direction. But for some reason they don't turn separately. I think it would be nice if these guys will turn kind of based on where the wind is, instead of everything turning together and everything shutting off together. And I'm not sure if this is the case, but I feel like there has been some decrease in water, which is a very nice detail that they put into. Because I'm currently at 62% and I can see some non-grassy area, so I'm guessing the water starts decreasing as I continue to suck it all up. That's nice. I was really surprised if that is the case. I could be wrong. I guess I'll find out if I look at the base here. So this one's kind of sticking out. What about this? Oh, that's the same. I don't know, so maybe I'm wrong. What about this? Where is the water? So the water comes up to about there for this lake. That one brick at the bottom. As far as this goes, oh, this space is a little bit different. Or is it? Maybe I have to look at it from this side. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But it is an idea for the developers. That's it. There's really not much else for me to work on here. I built everything that I needed to build. Bunker, farm. Bunker is useless. Nuggets don't even care when there's a tornado coming. Reservoir, courier hut, oil jack, water pump. Yep, everything is here. I guess if I really wanted to be a perfectionist, I would build, or not build, but upgrade my water pumps, since it'll require cement and iron. But I don't know, just not worth it. I think that will take forever anyways. So this is, you know, one complete playthrough, and I'm pretty aware of how this game works, so it took me about, what, 6 hours, 7 hours to fully complete it. Considering I have additional, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours of troubleshooting towards the end game, since everything kind of after the third, was it tertiary stuff was new to me to hear all these stuff. So I kind of spent some time studying, analyzing, and figuring things out. But other than that, yeah, you're looking at a good 6 to 7 hours of playthrough for once, and then you can play it again. I know I definitely played a couple of times. The previous, like 6 months ago, alpha version, because I wanted to see what the wind energy was, kinetic energy, and the combustion energy. Wind energy, as you can see, is a little, I don't know, maybe not too efficient at the moment. As I mentioned, everything turns together and everything shuts off together. The other one, the kinetic energy, is you're using your nuggets kind of like a hamster. So you have this turning wheel, your nuggets jump on it, they run, and then as this turns, it produces energy. Maybe a little more efficient, but it does still depend on your nuggets. But your nuggets will continue to work on it, so it's not like by chance like the wind energy. Combustion energy will pretty much suck up and then pollute your earth. And I don't know, maybe there isn't any penalty at the current moment, so maybe this may be a good idea. It does drain you a heck of a lot of energy. So yeah, I guess it just depends on how the game progresses, but like I mentioned at the moment, education doesn't really have too much effect on your gameplay. As you can see here, I don't have too many educated nuggets anymore after I turned it off, but they're still happy. University seems to be a little buggy too, because when I had these nuggets, none of them were even coming to the university. They were all just kind of wandering around the city, and then they eventually drop out or die, and then the new nuggets takes their place in here, but at the same time they still don't come to the university. So what's the point? There really was no point. Now, as far as the town hall, you're looking at this Minister of Education, Defense, Entertainment. I put some nuggets in here, and I guess what they do is they just kind of randomly place buildings to be built around your area. That became kind of buggy as well, because there were, like, one of the example, the nugget tried building a university here, and it was kind of going overlapping with the lumber mill area. So I didn't like that. Maybe that's something that the developers may need to kind of work on a little bit better. For now, I think if you were to do town hall, I would just put one person in here so that this person can assign the appropriate nuggets to whatever building needs the nuggets. But yeah, even then, I don't know how efficient this is at the moment. So just assume your population is going to cap out at 200. So make the best out of your buildings. Try not to put too many farms or whatnot. Figure out which food source is the easiest to acquire. Honestly, I think maybe fishing and hunting maybe two of the best things to do rather than farming. Farming just takes way too many people and it doesn't produce enough resources, I think. That's my take. I know from my experiment or kind of monitoring both fishing and farming, fishing produces more food than farming at the amount of time both of these take to gather or produce the food. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else for me to cover. For sure, I'll come back to the game after a couple of updates, probably another 6 months or so. Or there is a possibility that something pops into my head that I want to try. I think one thing that I do want to try is maybe separating out these huts versus, or Tudor houses versus all these farms and stuff. So maybe kind of put the farms together in one area further out from the town, kind of separating things out little by little. So that's another idea. And then try and maximize the efficiency by having the least amount of working buildings. And maybe control the amount of population as well by, I don't know, rejecting some houses that are being built and stuff. But that's kind of not in my control. Even if I reject houses, like demolish it, if they were to build it, they would build it again anyways. You're just kind of wasting resources at that point. Yep, that's it. So that's my little recap of this game as of now. I could go into further details, but it is in alpha stage, so whatever review I do now will probably get replaced sooner or later. And you guys have seen all the pros and cons. If you haven't, I would recommend just skimming through my previous episodes. So yeah, 6 to 7 hours, one playthrough is what you can expect. You can probably play through it about 2 more times just to get an idea for these different power resources or power path. As far as these, I don't know. I don't think there's really that much of a difference between prison and science of peace at the current moment until they work on further stuff down here. So yeah, 7 times 3, maybe 21 hours of gameplay. I'm not sure how much it is on Steam right now, but I'm sure it's, I don't know, $30, less than 30? I don't know, don't take my word for it. Check out Steam. That's it. Really fun game actually if you are into simulation and god game. Like I said, I have high hopes. And they did fight a little bit. Well, my hunters kind of attacked the other colony from attacking me. So that's nice. I think they may put in the feature of, I don't know, maybe a war or something like that, or even give me the ability to attack the other colony, steal their resources, maybe. And then I also mentioned in my previous episode, there are some these lags. And it's not my computer, it's just the game performance. I think the more you move around, the more you do things, the more it lags. So yeah, that's it. I don't know, any other questions you guys might have regarding this game that I may or may not be able to answer, just let me know in the comments. Okay, short episode. That's my little take on the Universim at the current moment. Still fun, really exciting, worth the purchase, I would say. And the developers are promising that there won't be any more microtransactions or additional purchases for DLCs in the future. So why not? Why not get it while it's cheap? Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys tune in to my other playthroughs. Bye bye.